Good evening, everyone. So let me just start then. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming and for joining us here today. We know it's been a very difficult time, and we know that this is affecting teachers and how you teach. And most of the teachers here are trying to figure out a better way to convert the in-person classroom to online tool. So that's why we're here. We're trying to provide this ACTFL online tool that we call AAPPLE Communication Builder, and trying to help you with this process. So hopefully this webinar is gonna be very helpful to you and to your students. My name is Michael Pereira. I'm the project coordinator at ACTFL, and I'm here with Daisy Nasiak. Daisy?
All right, thank you, Michael. And I'm a project manager for ACTFL as well. Michael and I, we both work in this project for Communication Builder. We've been working on this, trying to improve this too. So we hope you guys like what you see today, and we also hope that you guys are able to give us some comments, suggestions on ways that we can improve this. All right. And as Michael was saying, we know this is a very difficult time for everybody. It's been very chaotic lately, right? And we are here to support you and to help you. And for this reason, we also want to say thank you for coming, and also to share some cheerful video here with you, which was our favorite video for this week. So I'm sure some of you have already seen this. So guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for staying connected with us, and cheers.
Thank you for coming. Chin chin. Chin chin.
This is our virtual happy hour.
Yes.
Chin chin. Chin chin.
So chin chin, guys. Chin chin, everyone. All right, so we can get it started. And for those of you who are not familiar, and we could see that there are many. So what is AAPPLE Communication Builder? We call it AAPPLE CB for short, right? And this is an online activity creator that was developed by ACTFL to facilitate opportunities to practice the three modes of communication, modes of communication that are included in the AAPPLE assessment, which are the interpretive reading and listening, the presentational writing, and the interpersonal listening and speaking. So in this tool, learners can practice in any language, on any topic, and also at any ACTFL proficiency level. And just a little caveat on the any language there is that we currently do not support the American Sign Language, but we are working on it for the future. So what is special about it? What do we think it's special about Communication Builder? So first thing to start is that this is a website that anyone can use, and anyone, I mean, learners, teachers.
Sorry, Dave, let me interrupt you for
Sure.
a second. I'm just seeing people saying that their screen are black, so I can see the slides on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody seeing okay? Just you can use the chat, just say yes right now. Okay, so sorry, there are some people that have some issues seeing the screen,
yeah,
but
so
you're able to see. Okay.
For those of you who are having trouble to see the screen, please don't worry, because we're gonna be sharing this presentation after. This is being recorded, as Michael was saying at the beginning, and you will be able to see the slides and the voice recording as well. So don't worry if you cannot see it right now, okay? All right, so just continuing then. So once again, anyone can use it. Teachers, students, any kind of language educator, language instructor, or really like a parent as well could be using the tool to help their kids at home, right? Mainly in this moment now that everyone is looking for different activities there to help the kids to practice their language skills, improve their language proficiency. So it's really open to everyone. And it's also considered like a low-stake practice for language learners. And what that means is that it's free for the students, free for the learners. They don't need to pay to access the account. And it also provides learners with opportunities for extended practice in each of the AAPPLE communicative modes. And for the teachers that are also always looking for something different to do, it can complement the lesson plans and curriculum. And it will also simulate tasks that are found on the ACTFL assessment of performance and proficiency, which is the AAPPLE, and I believe most of you are familiar with the AAPPLE assessment, which is our K-12 assessment. And also another nice feature is that when the teacher or anybody, an instructor or mentor, are creating activities, there's an option to set guiding goals for the activity. And those activities can be customized. You can use a simple rubric, or you can use the can-do statements as well. So it's really nice. And one of the most important features for us, and for all of us actually, mainly during this moment as well, is the collaboration opportunity among ourselves, right? Among colleagues and groups of language learners. Because by creating activities into CB, and making those activities available, set as public, and we're going to talk about that a little later, but setting that as public, it allows for other people to share, use those activities as well. So there is a good collaboration feature to this, and this is what we want to reinforce here today as well. Michael?
Okay, thank you, Daisy. So let's just recap about what was presented by Daisy then, and also kind of focus on the major features of Communication Builder. You can create online activities on all three modes of communication. And here's like the main one that I think is very important for the time that we're going through today, is that you can use this tool as a way to create online classroom. You can assign activities, online activities, to individual or to a group of students. We have provided a few of tutorials page, tutorials like videos and how to step-by-step guide to help you through that process of like creating an activity. So you know that we are currently working on creating more tutorials to help you, but the main ones you can find that on the website to guide you through. We also had a few examples of activities as a reference for those who are just joining the new Communication Builder now, so then you can, you know, get familiar on how to create activity, get some examples, maybe get the English sample that we have and convert that to, like, not translating, because we know like translate is not appropriate, but like just adapting that to your language and like the more appropriate way. Because we do have that in English, and we are working now to have like across all the 13 AAPPLE languages. But as Daisy mentioned, we do have also the public task, which is those created by the teachers, and you can share that. So we have a few online tests available there that were created by other teachers, and you know, you can just use that as a reference as well. And then when you talk about the technical requirements to use AAPPLE Communication Builder, basically we require the same thing as when you take the AAPPLE assessment. So the AAPPLE Communication website, Communication Builder website, it's ACTFL compliant. So you don't need Flash to use AAPPLE Communication Builder anymore. It works on most browsers such as Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and others. Also operates systems such as Windows, Mac, iOS, and Chrome. And the good thing is that learners, the students, they can actually access your online tests through any kind of a device like smartphone or tablet, or even like, of course, their computer. So that's actually very important for the students because they can access that anywhere they are. And one thing that we ask most everybody to make sure once you are creating the activity and you go over, like, you know, get an image or a video from the internet just to make sure that it's copyright free, because that's very important, because we're using like online tools so everybody can have access to it. But if you get like a resource from a company that is charging for it, so it's not good. So, and then also the it's under, the picture needs to be under 50 megabytes. So when you create your audio, when you create like your video, just make sure you know that you have a headset set because the quality of the audio is better, just as the Apple assessment. And keyboarding, just make sure that the keyboarding is very important also for the students. Daisy?
All right. Thank you, Michael. And so then we have this slide here for you to have a better picture in the differences between having like a teacher account and a learner account, a student account, right? So how it's accessed and what you can do. So starting with the teacher account. So teachers are able to create the virtual classrooms, as we were mentioning before, for organization, create tasks or pick public tasks to set the activities for the students. They can assign the tasks then to learners, and they review the learners' responses and provide feedback. And on the student side, they can practice with public tasks, or they can assign public tasks to themselves or practice tasks that were assigned by the teachers, right? So there are two ways. Technically, students using Communication Builder, they don't necessarily need someone helping them out or assigning tasks to them for older students in this case, right? That don't need assistance navigating through the website. So they can go through the public tasks pool that we have available, and they can choose by searching by language and by the level that they think they are, and assign those tasks to themselves. If they assign those tasks to themselves, they can also still request some feedback from someone, and this someone could be the teacher or could be a parent as well. So there are multiple ways that students can practice using the tool, and it's not completely dependable on the teacher access or the mentor access, okay? And they complete the activities and request feedback. All right, so these are the public tasks that I was mentioning at the beginning that we really wanted to emphasize here today, considering this whole situation and this change into going into a completely online scenario now, right? A virtual scenario with classes and trying to find activities for the students and for our kids. So once again, like when someone is creating a task, this task can be set as private or public. So for those of you who are just starting with Communication Builder and you're going to start creating your nice and beautiful tasks there, we ask you to please set it as public, so then other people, other teachers and students who logs in into the website, they will be able to see your task there and assign them to their students or to themselves, right? And the screen that you see here on the side, this is how it looks on the website. So you see tiles for each one of the tasks and who created those. And you can even rate those if you wish. If you are using a task that you like very much, you can also share that with your colleagues, all right? And so the public tests are available to anyone, as I was saying. And again, collaboration during this moment, we need collaboration, right? So let's do the most as we can. I heard at the beginning someone mentioning, oh, we don't have Arabic. I haven't seen Arabic samples there. We are, AAPPL is working on this right now to develop samples in all Apple languages. But of course, we can use your help, like anybody's help, to create public tasks in all possible languages there, right? So if you have some time now and you want to experience that and create some activities, please, please, please. All right. And we also mentioned about the classrooms, and this feature is mostly to help you organizing your student groups, right? So you create it to organize your classes. And when you create a classroom, right, as you can see on the screen here, you would click on classrooms on the top menu, and then click on the green button to create a classroom from there. Then an image will open, like a box will open for you to set the classroom name, and you will be creating the classroom there, right? Once you create it, there is a automated code that will be generated, and that's the access code for that specific classroom. It's a unique code, right? And that code you can copy and share that with your students and ask them to use that code to join the classrooms. So on the student side, when they log in and they have already received the code from you, they go into classrooms and they click join a classroom and insert the code so they can join the classroom by themselves. Or you may also choose to click on the classroom tile and add people, add the students there one by one if you wish, if they're having any trouble to log in. Or you can also remove students from the classroom if they need to be removed for any reason. So you can manage the classrooms in there, can manage the students. And again, this is good for your organization in terms of having multiple classes, if you are teaching like multiple levels, different languages, so you can have a classroom there for each one of those options. And in these classrooms, you will be able to assign the private or public tasks to the entire classroom at once, right? You don't need to be assigning them one by one, although you do have the choice to assign to individuals if you wish.
All right, let's talk then about creating a task, creating an online activity. Let's start with saying that we have two different, sorry, I got distracted with the chat here. We have, when you log into the website, you're gonna see two different pages specific for each mode. So we're gonna see the writing and reading tab, which is gonna be the yellow one. So when, let's say they want to create a presentation or writing or an interpretive reading task, so you're gonna create on the right. In the green tab, it says create a new tab in order for you to create an activity. Just make sure that you'll be aware of those two differences because they offer different resources when creating an activity. So you're gonna see that for the writing and reading, you're gonna be able to create a text, or for the listening speaking activity, you're gonna be able to upload that audio or video. So next slide, Daisy, so they can show a little bit more in depth how that works step by step. Once you create a new task, green tab, you're gonna see a few steps in order for you to create an activity. So the first one is the main one that we actually recommend everybody is to be prepared. So you're gonna plan your activity ahead of time, prepare a script, have your audio or video file, like the image, and then going back to the copyright. I know that people are commenting about like the copyright free. So you can find free options on Google, but so just make sure that there's a free image because there are other images there that need to be purchased. So once you have all the material ready, you go to Communication Builder, and then you're gonna use that, you're gonna start saying like the name of the activity. What is the task about? And then you're gonna use the description box for the students to give the direction for the students, like what it needs to do here. Thanks, Daisy. What are gonna be using, like all the description for the activity you're gonna insert in that box. And then for the second step, it's gonna ask you for the text. So you're gonna tag that activity to facilitate when you filter all the activities, the tasks that you have created. So you can include tags for the level of the language, what you want to use for that activity, like or other keywords they want to use. That also facilitate if you make that task public for other teachers to find. Like let's say that I'm a Portuguese teacher that I want to find an activity for Portuguese. So I go to the public task and then I can filter that. So that's kind of like the direction why it would be important for you to tag the tasks. Then step number 3, you can select the guiding goals, which is very customizable. As Daisy mentioned, you can use the can-do statement or just a simple rubric for that. And then in step number 4, that this is where you're gonna assign the activity to your student or to a classroom or to yourself, or you can skip it, which we recommend, because if you know that, once you assign the activity to a student, you cannot add the activity. So
or to yourself, right? Yeah.
Or to yourself. So we want to recommend that once you are creating an activity, especially if it's the first time creating an activity, that you go through the process, just skip number 4, go over the process, finish it, save it, and assign that to anyone. Anything else that needs to be added on the way. And then step number 5 is where you're going to determine the visibility and where you're going to choose if you want to make this activity public or private. And again, we do recommend you to make that public so then we can share that along with other educators. You can review the task and then you save it. So it's a very like few steps. And again, going back to step number 1, if you have all the material already ready ahead of time, you can just go and upload everything in the communication builder. And the same thing applies for the writing and reading activity. So that's like what I was saying. The difference here is that you're gonna see that you can attach an image, upload a video, and write a text. So those are like the resources available for the writing and reading activity. And that's the main difference. But the steps in order for you to create an activity, they're gonna be the same. You're gonna plan your prompt, add tags, select the guide goals, assign the text or skip it, determine the visibility, review the text, and then you save it. So that's very straightforward process in order for you to create an activity.
And just to add that for the prompts, for each prompt that you create,
you use image because you
can create multiple prompts, right? You can create up to 12.
Right. Can you put the next slide there so then we can show like how that works? Yeah. So that's like an example of activity after that is created. And we do recommend you like, to use images, to use audios, like to make trying to provide a more interactive activity for students. Because we do want that to be engaging. We do want like students to be involved in participating in that online test that you created. Is there anything else you want to add, Daisy?
No, I guess that's all. We already discussed about the copyright-free websites when including pictures there, right? So we just need to please make sure any picture you're including there, it's from a copyright-free website. And we will be providing some options of these websites in our FAQ tomorrow, all right? We're gonna be posting that on the website. All right. Okay, so now you got a better idea on how that works, right? And how you can create activities there. And just to talk very briefly on how you can access Communication Builder right now, for those of you who have never accessed Communication Builder before. So you will need an AAPPL online account to be able to log into Communication Builder website. And that's created through our AAPPL website, and it's completely free. And not only the AAPPL online account is free, and it was always free, but at this period of the year, since we are going through all this difficult things, right, difficult situation, AAPPL is promoting and giving Communication Builder the free premium access to you guys until June 30th. So anybody who wants to join, who doesn't have an account and wants to join Communication Builder, will be able to experience the premium, the full access account until June 30th for free, okay? And for students, as I said before, they don't have to create an account, an AAPPL online account, and they may choose to use an email or not when they are creating an account for themselves, and it's free for students. It always was. And also regarding going through the process of actually, if you don't have Communication Builder access and you wanted to purchase that at this time, we will be providing in our FAQs also a link with a video for you to get the steps on how to go to our AAPPL website, go to our store once you create your AAPPL online account, and then going through the steps on how to make the purchase. I'm saying a purchase because it is still like you need to go through the store and click on the Communication Builder option there, and you will see the price as 0 for right now, right? So you need to go through that process to make sure you get your subscription there, okay? And also, when you go through, now that you have heard about this, you got some steps there on how to start. If you go through this week or during the weekend and you still have some questions, or you tried something didn't work very well, or if you want some ideas from us, we will be offering live support starting next Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it will happen every Wednesday until May 27. So it's going to be live with myself and Michael, and we're going to be helping you with any assistance that you need when you are creating your activities. And not even only assistance, as I was saying, if you just want some ideas from us, we can also help you through that, okay? And also if you need additional support throughout the week or anything before, or if you were not able to join that call, you may send us an email at, to support@ACTFL.org, okay? So for receiving more information, and this was our first webinar, as we were mentioning at the beginning, we will have some more webinars coming in for you guys so we can help you somehow throughout this virtual process that we are all going through, right? So please stay connected. We will be posting on social media when the next session is and what it's going to be about, so you can register as you did for this one. All right. And stay safe, everybody. Obrigada, in my case, I say obrigada. Michael says obrigado.
Obrigado. We're gonna be hosting a open questions and answers here. So thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful to see the diversity of languages, of people join us here today. We do hope that this tool can help you office hours if you have any questions, provide any live assistance to you during this time as well. But yeah, stay together, stay safe. Oh, no, stay together physically, but stay safe and just join us for any questions that we're going to be answering.
Stay connected, right?
Stay connected. Thank you.